Hello, hello, my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting episode. Folks, hold on to your hats because it's time for
T minus
liftoff.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
let's go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
That's right, amigos. Welcome. Welcome aboard. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name, your exciting interactive English show on Vaughn Radio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I trust that you guys have warmed up. Vamos a pronunciar eso juntos. Warmed up. I trust that you've warmed up together with my buddy Fitz and his program, No Excuses. And if you didn't listen to that program, or if you don't listen to that program regularly, you are missing out because Fitz, as a teacher, as a person, he's magical. That's right. In fact, I was just chatting with him via WhatsApp right now. And he's also, with Fitz, it's like, what don't you know about? Because he knows about movies, he knows about science, politics, a little bit of everything. As we would say, Fitz is well-rounded. Sabe un poquito de todo. And I think that's kind of a good thing in general, to be well-rounded as a person, as a student, right? I think this is always a good adjective. So don't miss Fitz's show. It's right before this show every day. It's called No Excuses. And right after this show, you've got our newest addition to Vaughn Radio, Jules Linares, and her program, Let's Get Random, which is also magical, my amigo. So welcome aboard. This is the show with no name. I've been here at this time slot, este horario, for over 14 years, and that's, yep, that's thanks to you guys. Absolutely. Hey, you got to recognize, you got to give credit where credit is due, como decimos. Hay que dar el mérito donde se debe. All right, amigos, we've got an awesome show up ahead for you. So let's kick off with our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Get up. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our pop quiz only on the show with no name, where we make sure you learn a little bit every day. I mean, you're going to learn no matter what, just if you listen to Vaughn Radio. By the way, easiest way to stay tuned, to stay with Vaughn Radio is by following us on our app. Real simple. Just go to wherever you download your apps and put in Vaughn Radio, and you can listen to us wherever. You can be on any continent. And speaking of, a shout out to all. Now, I know I'm usually giving props. Props es dando elogios, dando crédito, mérito to my students in Spain. And it's true, most of my students are in Spain. But a quick shout out to my students all around the world, the ones who get up early over in the Americas, the ones who listen to us from Asia. I know we've got some students tuning in from Asia as well. So it's fantastic that we're part of a community. All of us, not just me, not just you guys, but all of us are a part of this community here on Vaughn Radio, and more specifically here on the show with no name. So thank you, wherever you tune in from, whether you're tuning in from Spain or wherever. But the good thing is, it shows me that there are people all around this awesome world that want to learn languages, not just English. Because if you want to learn English, then maybe you're interested in other languages. I love, people ask me, oh, how many languages do you speak? I go, well, I speak 2 fluently, and then the one I need to speak. And they're like, what? I'm like, well, if I'm going to France, I need to learn 10 sentences, really, because I'm not going to be doing any, brain surgery or anything, anything too intricate, muy elaborado, muy complicado. So, I don't have to worry about that. I just know how to say, please, thank you. And usually when you learn that stuff, you know it for the next time. Like, next time I go to Japan, I know arigato gozaimasu. This is a very native way of saying thank you. Now, everybody knows arigato, but the natives say arigato gozaimasu. I guess it would be the difference of saying adios and hasta luego, right? No es lo mismo. So I love to learn these little native things, these cultural things. Let's take a look at today's pop quiz. It's sponsored by my good buddy, another great program that's been on Vaughn Radio. It's a staple, algo esencial, algo básico aquí, and that's Kyle Miller and his Drive Time.
Welcome to Drive Time with Kyle Miller.
That's right, folks. Drive Time with your buddy Kyle Miller. And if you listen to Drive Time, then you're going to have an edge. You're going to have an advantage on today's pop quiz. All right, here's the translation. Remember, if you're not following Kyle, if you're not listening to his program, the program's called Drive Time. His handles are usually, handle es su nombre en internet. I think it's I'm Kyle Miller. I'm Kyle. Y no es Kyle Miller como E-R, sino A-R. Believe me, follow him. I know most of you are following him. Why? Most of you are in the know, enterados. And I used to say enterrados, which is buried. Un poco muy diferente. Okay, here it is. Hay muchos altibajos a lo largo del año. Hay muchos altibajos a lo largo del año. This is Kyle's Twitter translation from the Drive Time show the other day. So let's see if you guys can figure this out. I'm sure we'll find a couple different ways to say it. Altibajos is the word, I guess, right? Hay muchos, y el verbo haber, claro. Hay muchos altibajos a lo largo del año. Good translation, Kyle. All right, guys, if you want to participate, you can participate in our virtual chat room. What's up? What's up? We're going to read some comments in just a moment. So if you'd like to leave us a comment, do it. Make sure you you really write it well in English. You dot your I's, you cross your T's. Remember, after all, this is English class, so we want to make sure we are communicating clearly, right? If I make the face like the confused face, the what? That means something wasn't too clear. All right, so hay muchos altibajos a lo largo del año. Let's go on over to our chat room. Speaking of, we've got a lot of people checking in, a lot of our students here, ready to have some fun. All right. Alberto says, hello. Hey, wait, that's my comment. All right. Ricardo says, hi, mates. Hi, Ricardo. How you doing? Welcome aboard. There's Vero. She says, morning, beautiful people. Are we ready to rumble or what? Of course we are. Vero, we were born ready here. You know it, and I know you're born ready too. She says, hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? Okay, see. Born to Iron Man says, morning, folks. Hump day. Día de fornicar. Bueno, también hump significa eso. Right? So hump es un poco jerga de teenager, pero I think of a dog. Tell the dog to stop humping my leg. Que deja de hacer eso a mi pata. But I know what you mean, hump day, because it's right smack dab in the middle. Monse, there she is. We missed you yesterday. Monse, I don't think you were here yesterday. We missed you if you weren't, and if you were, I don't remember your comments. But it's great to read your name and your comment. Morning, guy, says Monse. There's Jay Lima. What's up, Jay? He says, hi there. What's up, Jay Lima? Laura, checking in. She says, good morning, wonderful show with no namers. Let's have a magical time. I was ready for you there, Laura. I won't be able to participate as much as usual today, but I'll be listening. Uh-oh. Guys, don't make any mistakes. Even if it doesn't seem like Laura's here, she's here. And she's paying attention. Está al loro. Okay, let's see. We got Born to Iron Man. He says, there are I don't know, Born to Iron Man. There are there are more up and down. Okay, vamos a asumir que esos are. There are more ups and downs through the year. No, eso es que hay más. Born to Iron Man, I've got to send you back to the drawing board. Esta expresión significa volvemos a cero. I'm going to send you back to the drawing board there, but don't worry. Great effort. Let's see, Oscar. There are lots of ups and downs through the year. Oscar, I'll take it. There are lots of ups and downs through the year. Nice job, Oscar. I'm also thinking, for some reason, I would say throughout. But it's correct, by the way. Through the year, right? Pero si dices through the years, es a través de los años. Same thing. Throughout. But a mí no sé por qué le meto el out ahí. But it's correct, Oscar. There are lots of ups and downs. Fíjate, no lo separo. No es ups and downs. It's ups and downs. Ups and downs. Like a roller coaster. We say that too. Life is like a roller coaster. Roller coaster of love. Roller coaster. All right, let's see. Who else? Jay Lima says, there are many ups and downs throughout the year. Nice job, Jay Lima. You got it. Let's see. Who else? Victor. He says, howdy, y'all. Muy tejano ahí, eh? Howdy, y'all. I'm working. Estoy trabajando. I'm working. So I can't participate in the program. No worries. Victor, you're here with us in spirit. Anyhow, I want to give a massive shout out to Alberto and the listeners of the perfect show. Wait. There's no perfect. This is imperfect. That's why it works. right? We're working on perfection, but we don't get obsessed with it. I'm joking. But thank you. Thank you so much, Victor. Wow. This perfect show for bold people. Gente atrevida. Oh, yeah. It's not for the faint of heart. You know this one? Not for the faint of heart. No apto para cardíacos, I think you say. Well, Victor, you'll be here with us in spirit. There's Ricardo. There are a lot of ups and downs along the year. Yeah, we can say that one along as well. I'll take it. Okay. Jordi says, hello, folks. I am back. Great to hear it, Jordi. I love that name, by the way, Jordi. Great name. Seriously, I don't know why. I love the name. Nihad says, good morning, mister and friends. There are a lot of ups and downs throughout the year. Nihad, fantastic. Let's see. Chris, she says, there are a lot of booms and busts throughout the year. Chris, you got it. Booms and busts. So if something's booming, the economy's booming, everything's going well. Bust, to go bust is to go bankrupt. Cerrar las puertas. Excellent. Chris, I was looking for some alternatives because I love ups and downs, and it's great. It's probably the most used one. But I wanted to, you know me, I love my synonyms, so thanks for that. There are a lot of booms and busts throughout the year. Good morning, wonderful AA and friends. Good morning to you, Chris. Always a pleasure to have you with us. There's May. You must have heard me, May. I was reaching out to you. I was shouting out to you, May. I said, because before I said, we got listeners all over the place. And it's amazing. It's one of the most amazing parts of my job. Not just that you guys are cool people, amazing students, but also you represent the globe, you know? That's amazing. So what's up, May? She says, hello, Alberto. I'm having my dinner now. What's up? Never a wrong time to listen to the show with no name. Enjoy your dinner. Bon appetit. She says, glad I got the notification to watch the live stream. Maylin, a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much and enjoy your dinner. We hope we give it a little extra flavor, a little extra spice. We spice it up. Le echamos un poco de sazón. Oh, yeah. Let's see. We've got some other options here, too. Oscar, he says, it could be as well. There are a lot of twists and turns throughout the year. Absolutely. There's another one. So we said ups and downs, twists and turns. We said boom and bust, right? Same idea if you think about it. And just be careful, Oscar, with throughout. You misspelled it. Okay, no está escrito bien el throughout. All right. So, well, it's a tough one. Sé que es difícil este. There's my dad. He says, good morning, Alberto and friends and family. Greetings from Greenwood Lake, New York, USA. All right, well, let's look at some other ones. I had a couple prepared. We said ups and downs. We said twists and turns. Oh, Jay Lima. Great. You beat me to it. Jay Lima, llegaste, me adelantaste. Muy bien, pero lo prefiero. I prefer if it comes from you guys. I can teach you, but if you guys can teach each other, you're saving me some work. Nah, but excellent, Jay. Jay says, there are lots of highs and lows throughout the year. Absolutely. Se usa muchísimo. Life is a series of ups and downs, twists and turns, highs and lows, booms and busts. Another one I love too is life ebbs and flows. This is a poetic one, but you know, sometimes we get a little bit philosophical here on the show with no name. We can't help it. No lo podemos evitar. Life ebbs and flows. To ebb and flow. Viene del mar. El ciclo de la marea. Flujo y reflujo. Fluctúa. Tiene sus altibajos. It ebbs and flows. Just like the sea. I love it. Well, it's true, guys. If you think about it that way, well, then maybe your highs won't be so high and your lows won't be so low. Or maybe the opposite. You're like, you know, I'm really going to enjoy the highs and the lows. Well, just got to cope is the word we say. To cope. This is a good word. It's funny because in Spanish you have this word, but nobody says cope. They say la cope. De hecho, me encanta esa expresión. A tope con la cope. To cope. Me lo está dando en español aquí, ¿no? No, I want it in English, guys. Cope in English. Superar cosas. Salir adelante. Sobrellevar. Right? How do we cope with those lows, and how much do we enjoy those highs when life ebbs and flows, right? But if you think about it, it's a roller coaster, right? It has its highs and lows, its ups and downs, its twists and turns, or like a road, or like a river. I guess that's why all of these things have been compared to life itself, la vida misma. Excellent job, guys. Really wonderful job to all of my students. Impressive. I knew you guys were going to give me a lot of different ways to say it. And it's true. It's not just an idiomatic expression. It's a reality. It's a truth. Una verdad. Let's see, Connie. Hey, there's Connie. I haven't read your name here on the show in a while, Connie. I read your comments when you comment on social media, but I haven't seen you here on the show. And I can tell you right now, you have been missed. I think I can speak on behalf of all of us here. Connie says, good morning, people. What's up, Connie? She says, long time no listen to listening live. Okay. Yeah, lively. Cuidado, because live es en directo. Sería sin el adverbio, la L-Y. Because lively es animado. Oh, that's a lively city. Madrid is a lively city. So long time no listen live. Yeah, hey, I didn't even read your comment. So I was thinking the same thing. She says, but I do follow your show every day by iVox or Vaughn Radio. Today, I'll be with you a little time. I miss you very much and being a part of the show. Well, Connie, as I said, great to have you, even if it's just for a little bit. And she says, there are many twists and turns along the year. Absolutely. Jordi says, good job, guys. I've learned many different and new expressions. Well, that's the idea, Jordi. And that's why you're a great student. Let's see. Victor. Victor says, you missed my pun. Oh, no. It went over my head. If something goes over your head, no lo captas, no lo pillas. Oh, no. Sorry, Victor. I guess I need some more coffee. You missed my pun, Victor says, because I didn't spell it right. Right? Spell sin ere. I didn't spell it right. So I'll repeat it because I know you love them. Bald people and the show with no mane. So bald. I get it now. I get it. Bold, atrevido. Bald, que no suenan igual, right? Bold, negrita, atrevido. Bald, sin pelo, right? And mane, I get it now. Now I get it. Mane is melena, I think you say in Spanish. It's the thing a lion has, right? That big patch of hair that a lion has. So I love it. Very punny. Very punny. All right. Well, guys, I'm just realizing over here that we have to go to our first commercial break. We have got so much stuff to do, and I can feel it. I see that you guys are on fire. You are ready to rock. So, keep it up. Keep it up. We're going to take a quick break. I'm telling you, we're going to be gone for like 2 minutes. And then when we come back, I've got so many more challenges up ahead. We're going to play. We're going to laugh. We're going to have fun. And yeah, of course, we're going to learn some English here on the show with no name. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. On Vaughn Radio. Welcome back, folks. It's time for part 2. I can't believe it. Oh, my God. Exciting to have you guys with us on board, ready for another edition. Another edition? Yeah, entrega. Do you say edición? I think that's a false friend. I know para una revista you say número. We say an issue. I think we've looked at that. Me suena un double trouble. I have an issue with the new issue of Time magazine. Tengo un tema con el nuevo número de la revista lo que sea. Well, it's not time for double trouble right now. No. It's time for a section where we listen to famous people speaking, and you guys have to figure out what's being said. It's called Say What? Say what? What? That's right, amigos. It's the Say What soundbite only on the show with no name. And remember, this is where you're going to hear a famous person speaking, and I want you guys to write down word for word what this person says. But first, I just want your opinion. And can you believe that? I'm asking you for your opinion. Most times we give our opinion and nobody asks us for it. It's unsolicited advice. Ojo con esta palabra. Advice con C es consejo sustantivo y suena como una S. Let me give you some advice. Si queremos usar el verbo es con una S y suena como Z. Let me advise you. Es más común, let me give you some advice, pero el verbo es to advise. If you didn't know that, it's because you're not following me on social media. As you guys know, I can show you right here on my Instagram. Instagram, Twitter, I'm constantly posting content. You can see it over here, short little videos that you guys can learn English with, review certain key concepts. So make sure you're following Grupo Vaughn. Make sure you're following my buddies, my coworkers, my friends here at Vaughn Radio. And obviously, make sure you're following me too, especially if you like learning with me on the show with no name, then you'll like learning with me here on social media, here on the radio show, or in my books, which, by the way, thank you. Wow. A lot of you picked up This Book is the Milk too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess a lot of you thought it would be a great gift idea. If you haven't, it's This Book is the Remilk, but it has a new cover. Well, blah, blah, blah. Let me play the ad for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you live from the funeral.
Señoras y señores, nos dirigimos a ustedes desde el funeral real.
What a sad day it is, for This Book is the Remilk.
Es un día triste para This Book is the Remilk.
It is a book that was loved by many and will be missed by all.
Es un libro que fue adorado por muchos y será extrañado por aún más.
But don't fret, no, don't worry,
Pero no se preocupen,
because the Remilk will be reborn
porque This Book is the Remilk volverá a nacer
with a new name, a new cover, and brand new audio.
con un nuevo nombre, una nueva portada y ahora con audio.
It's called This Book is the Milk 2.
Se llama This Book is the Milk 2
And it will usher in a new age.
y nos adentrará en una nueva era.
All hail! This Book is the Milk 2, the new leader.
¡Viva This Book is the Milk 2, el nuevo rey!
Long live! This Book is the Milk 2.
¡Larga vida al nuevo rey! This Book is the Milk 2.
That's right, folks. That's right. This book is the Milk 2. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think I forgot the number, but I think around 5,000 guys. I just know that I have to bill them. I have to bill Vaughn, facturarles, every 6 months. And usually it's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, some extra money for savings, para ahorrar. And I teach Lara how to save money and stuff like that. But this month I was like, whoa, what happened? I said, whoa, a nice Christmas bonus. And that's because tons of people picked up This Book is the Milk 2. Remember, if you're looking for some Christmas gifts, the gift that keeps on giving, como decimos en inglés, un regalo que nunca pierde su valor, que sigue dando de sí, it's some you can get any of our materials, not just my books. I stand behind or I vouch for any of our materials at Vaughn Tienda. If you're looking for a course, maybe at the holiday season, go to our website. It's grupovaughn.com. All right, well, let me give you guys today's Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you twice, and then we'll chat about it. We'll see what you guys heard. Remember, use your best English. Impress me. I'm your English teacher. Your job is to impress me with your English. And here, I just want to hear your opinion on what you heard. Let's hear the Say What soundbite for the first time.
They changed the end, which I didn't like. In the play, the end was at the pump. Teacher said, I love Helen. And that was it. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
All right, there you go, folks. I think it's a really easy one. Definitely an easy one to figure out because the person speaks clearly. They take pauses. I say they, she, right? Sounds like a woman. Well, when we don't know, we say they. I think they're, but I can tell you it's a woman. And she's talking about, well, I'm not going to give you too much information. I want to hear what you heard. Let me give it to you for the second time, and then you guys can comment in our virtual classroom. Okay, here we go. This is the second listen of today's Say What soundbite.
They changed the end, which I didn't like. In the play, the end was at the pump. Teacher said, I love Helen. And that was it. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
All right, there you go, folks. I'll play it for you another 2 times, and I'm sure someone's going to be able to figure it out. All right, let's take a look. We've got some comments rolling in, and we'll see what you guys heard in the Say What soundbite. Let's see. German says, "Morning, guys. It's great to be here. I've missed the show with No Name a lot." Well, we missed you too, German. The good thing is, guys, we're here day in, day out. If you can't be here live, that's the great news. You can tune in. We've got it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iVox. Also, remember, follow my self-produced podcast, For Your Inglés, and you'll be able to get bonus episodes. There are bonus episodes coming out every day. I just released one on video games and another one, I can't remember. Check it out. The best way is to get notifications if you're following on YouTube, wherever it is, because one thing is to follow and another thing is receive notifications. And as May said, she got a notification that said Alberto Alonso is going live. Maybe see, even if you're following somebody, one thing is following and one thing is getting notifications. So that's something you can do too. Go over to next time you see a post from Vaughn or from Kyle or Tosh or myself, hit receive notifications. It depends on the platform, but it's something that you can definitely do. Let's see. Jordi says, "Me too, German. I was lost in cyberspace." Well, also remember, guys, we used to be on Instagram, and then we left Instagram, and now we're just doing it here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And also remember, the most important thing is you can get it on the Vaughn Radio app. You can get the audio. You can download the podcast. So whether you want to watch these programs or listen to these programs, whatever's easier for you, maybe it just depends on the day. We're there for you. All right. Let's see. Maria says, "Hello. Hello, Maria. How are you? What's up?" Jay Lima says, "I'm waiting for This Book Is the Milk 3. Oh, really? All right. Let's just put it this way. If I were working on that book right now, I couldn't tell you anyway. Right? So, okay. I won't say anything else because you know me and I've got a big mouth. So I'm going to shut up, Jay Lima, but careful what you wish for. Cuidado lo que desees, lo que pides. Let's see. Diego says, "Why did you change the name?" I think Remilk is more creative. Well, the thing is, well, actually, no, Remilk isn't, because I think I beg to differ. No estoy de acuerdo ahí, because Remilk no lo pillan un americano, but Milk 2, la segunda, número 2, y 2 también. O sea, no, this is just of course, this is your opinion. It's not wrong. But again, I didn't have anything to do with changing the name. It was actually a publishing decision. And I was approached, se me acercaron, and they said, "Listen, we got to change the name. We're going to change the title. We're also going to do some audio with it." And I said, "Okay, if you guys know what's best. I don't really know too much about the process." But thanks for the feedback, Diego. Let's see. German says, "After reading Zelensky's Christmas letter, Santa went ballistic." I have to be honest with you. I don't follow mainstream media. I don't follow the news. So I don't know I know who Zelensky is. He's the Ukrainian dude, but I don't know anything. I don't, we don't talk too much about war and politics here, especially foreign politics. 'Tis the season. We're talking about Christmas here in my house. But I haven't read the letter. I don't know what you're referring to there, German. Let's see. Victor says, "I heard a middle-aged man." Yo digo man, pero pone woman. No me hagas caso, Victor. "I heard a middle-aged American woman complaining about how someone has changed the ending of a play that used to leave every eye in the audience soaking wet." Victor, I couldn't have said it better myself. Te lo juro. I swear to God, I couldn't have said it better myself. Excellent. Middle-aged American woman complaining about how someone changed the ending of a play, cambió el final de una obra de teatro, that used to leave, que antes no dejaba ni un ojo seco, como decimos. So leave every eye in the audience, en el público, soaking, great word there too, soaking wet. Excellent job, Victor. Leonardo says it sounds like an actress commenting that somebody changed the ending of a play where a character said a line, I don't remember, and was pump. Okay, so you heard the word pump there. Yes, Leonardo, you are on the right track indeed. There's something there about an actress. She pissed off or upset about the changing of the line of a play. Great, excellent, Leonardo. And yes, the word is pump that you heard. So good ear, guys. Excellent job. Chris says, I heard a woman with a really nice cadence, ritmo, right? I assume she's talking about a book or maybe a movie because she says they changed the end and she didn't like that. Excellent. Wow. Guys, I am impressed. Impressed. Really good. Not only did you hear correctly, but you're also summing it up nicely. Excellent. Jay Lima says, what makes the show with no name special is the interaction with you, AA. It's not the same if the show is not live. Well, I'm saying for the people who can't listen live, they have to pretend it's live. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do. I can't be live 24 hours a day, obviously. It would be nice for you guys. I wouldn't have a voice, I'll tell you that. I would totally lose my voice. But remember, guys, every show, that I do that on purpose. That's why I try not to talk too much about current events. Si os dais cuenta, I don't talk about current events, actualidad. I try not to. Sometimes it'll get in there. I try and talk about current vocabulary without talking about current events. I try not to get into politics because you don't want to know my opinion. I'm sorry. Lo dicho en voz alta. Did I just say that aloud? You don't want to know my opinion about politics. But Jay says you can make a reality show. Oh, no. But I do, Jay, I'll tell you what, I do try and keep it real. So when I learn something in Spanish, I try to teach it to you in English. And when do you learn stuff? Well, when you're doing it, through experience. And the same way I'm teaching my daughter, hands-on. So I always try and personalize the language as I tell you guys to do as well. So imagine that, a reality show, 24 hours. You don't want to follow me around 24 hours a day either, trust me. Let's see. Monse says, I heard a woman talking about a touching moment and how all the listeners were tearing up. Wow. The guys... That totally native is for all of you. I mean, you guys sounded like native speakers today, and that is precisely what I want you guys to do in the Say What soundbite. So let's move on now. Let's see how you do in today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. It is today's Spelling Bee, and as always, I am going to spell some words for you today, and hopefully you guys will be able to figure out who these people are. I'm telling you right now, they are people. Okay, so you're going to get 6 people. I'll give you another warning here in today's Spelling Bee. Also, these people are also, some of them have Roman numerals in their name. Okay, so just a couple clues to help you with today's Spelling Bee. Their names, so they'll be in capital letters. They'll start with capital letters, and some of them you can expect a Roman numeral. Okay? The first time I am going to fly through it. The second time I'm going to be nice. All right? Folks, this is round 1 of today's spelling bee. Please write down these words in the order you hear them. The first word is S-H-A-H space S-H-A-P-U-R, the second. The next one is A-L-F-O-N-S-O, and the Roman numeral, the 13th. The next one is H-E-N-R-Y, and the Roman numeral is the 6th. The next one is K-I-N-G space S-O-B-H-U-Z-A, and the Roman numeral is the 2nd. The next one is P-U space Y-I. And the last one is O-Y-O space T-O-R-O. No numerals. Okay, I said some of them, not all of them. We're going to have Roman numerals. All right. Okay, and look, folks, it looks like we have a winner in today's SayWhat soundbite. Oh my God, you are fast, and it looks right. Folks, give it up for your classmate, Nihad. He nailed today's SayWhat soundbite. Awesome job. Awesome job. And speaking of nailing it, we've got Born to Iron Man. Oh, you know what? You have a lowercase letter, and I was going to let that slide. To let it slide is, iba a dejarlo pasar. Because, you know, but there's a typo. There's one letter that is wrong. So excellent effort, Born to Iron Man, in our spelling bee. But we're missing. Okay, wait. Okay, he's coming back. He says, wait. I just took a look at it, and now I think I've got it. And folks, do you bet on Born to Iron Man? ¿Apostáis por él? Well, he nailed it. Wonderful job there. Excellent stuff. All right, guys. This is round 2 of today's spelling bee. Remember, this is the speed where everybody should be able to get it. This is like for beginners, because I pause, I make sure I enunciate and pronounce everything very well, very clearly. So I take all that into account. That's why I expect a lot more people to get it on the second round. So here it is, round 2. The first person is S-H-A-H space S-H-A-P-U-R, the second. The next person is A-L-F-O-N-S-O, and it's the 13th. ¿Ves como los ordinales llevan un th? No todos, pero algunos. The next one is the third one, ordinal, is H-E-N-R-Y, and he is the 6th. Tardé un segundo ahí, me cuestan. The next one, K-I-N-G space S-O-B-H-U-Z-A, the second. The fifth one is P-U space Y-I. And the last one is O-Y-O space T-O-R-O. Okay, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There you've got your spelling bee. That is for everybody. I think that's as slow as I can go, without, giving it to you too slow. And I see we've got a lot of other students. There's Lupe as well. Chris Valrol. Excellent job, amigos, amigas. Well, anytime I say amigos, I mean amigos and amigas. And Chris Valrol, you got what they have in common. These are the youngest monarchs. Los monarcas más jóvenes. And I know what you're thinking. What? But why are there bagpipes? Do you know the word bagpipes? Bagpipes, pues lo que estás oyendo. You say gaita, if I'm not mistaken? So why are we hearing bagpipes? Well, because today in 1542, Princess Mary Stuart became Queen of the Scots at the age of 1 week, on the death of her father, James V of Scotland. That's right, that was today in 1542, making Mary Stuart one of the youngest monarchs to ever hold the throne. And I'm sure you guys recognize that song. Do you recognize it? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Folks, we're going to a quick commercial break before I make it rain. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Ow. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 3. Oh my goodness. Part 3 of today's show with no name. Welcome back, amigos. We've got so many more challenges up ahead in the second half of today's show. So let's kick off with today's homophone.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. It's homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with homophones. The show with no, show with no, show with no, show with no.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, I'm going to give you 2 words. I want you to tell me what those 2 words are, and I want you to tell me if they sound the same or not. The first word is a word I think everybody's familiar with. It's muneca. So it's a little figure that children often play with. Okay? So muñeca. It's another way of saying, too, that somebody's beautiful. Oh, many people say, oh, your daughter is muñeca. So we say it like that in English. Y también es arreglarse, emperifollar. Oh, that's a funny word. ¿Quieres emperifollar? Okay, I'll stop. Well, now you know why I'm not a comedian. But because you can say that. Imagine, just let's set the scene here. Okay, we're at a club, right? We're definitely having fun. It's going off, you know. And do we have some music over here? Let me get some music here. Let's see. We're at the club. We're dancing. And I'm like, and I say, I reach over, I whisper in your ear, and I say, ¿Quieres emperifollar? I know I'll get slapped. What? What did you say? I said, ¿Quieres emperifollar? Bueno. Vamos a aprender cómo decir eso en inglés. Oh, yeah. Of course we are. All right. The second word, then. Of course, I got to give you the second word there. The second word is aburrido soso. The show with no name is definitely not aburrido o soso. Aquí emperifollamos. ¿Todos o al río? Oh, geez. All right, I'll stop. It's not even time for your joking yet, but I'm having tons of fun, and I hope you guys are having fun as well. All right, I gave you today's homophones. Also, I got to give you today's SayWhat soundbite for the 3rd time. Nihad got it already. I'm sure more of you will be able to figure it out. Here it goes.
They changed the end, which I didn't like. In the play, the end was at the pump. Teacher said, I love Helen. And that was it. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
There you go, amigos. There you go. Hopefully you guys will be able to figure it out. I'm sure a couple more people will be able to get it. All right, let's take a look at today's homophones and see if anybody got those. Let's see. Marcone says doll, puppet, acreon figures. I'm not sure what. Action figures. Okay. Pero acreon, good English. Good job. Keep up the good work, Marcone. Okay, let's see. German gives us both words, and he tells us if they're homophones or not. Those are the correct words, German. And German says they're not homophones. La palabra muñeca y aburrido o soso no suenan igual. Born to Iron Man agrees. Victor says there's no way they are homophones. Well, they might be, Victor, in some part of the world. Maybe, again, I always tell people, I don't say the word ma'am and mom the same, but some people do, right? I remember my wife and we were watching a show, a series, and the guy kept saying, mom, hey, mom, hey, mom. And he wanted to say ma'am, but the way he pronounced it, para mí sonaba como madre. Entonces parecía que estaba llamando a todo el mundo madre. So again, I don't, as I tell other teachers, I tell students all the time, I like to avoid saying always and never in English class, because we know English is full of exceptions. So who knows, Victor? Maybe they are. Maybe. Well, let's see what the other students have to say. Chris says the two words, and she says they're not homophones. Lupe agrees. The words don't sound the same. All right. The first word is doll. Ah, say it with me, doll. Oh, she's a doll. We also say dolly. Oh, you're a dolly. No llames una chica, hey, doll. Oye, muñeca. Eso no. But if you can say somebody's a doll, son, como una muñeca, muy bonitos, muy bonita, right? And it can be for boys or girls. Oh, he's a doll, right? Doll. Emperifollarse, my favorite new word, to doll somebody up. Do you remember? My daughter, I'll give you one. My daughter likes to doll me up. She has a makeup set, and like a hair cutting set, and she likes to doll me up. And she dolls my wife up. Hacer como muñeca, adornar, to make more glamorous. So, emperifollar, to doll. I hate, here's one. I don't like it when parents doll their kids up for pageants, estos concursos de belleza. Let the kids decide if they want to get involved with that. So, to doll up. And it comes from the word doll, hacer como una muñeca. What else? Rag Doll. Eso es una canción de Aerosmith. Rag Doll, living in a movie. Muñeca de trapo. Rag Doll, living in a movie. Daddy little cutie. So doll is the first word. The second word, dull. Dull. Chucky was not a dull doll. Vamos a decir esa frase. Chucky, hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? Chucky was not a dull doll. No fue un muñeco aburrido o soso. Also, dull is something that's not sharp. So if you have knives in your kitchen, some of them are sharp and some of them need to be sharpened because they are dull, desafilado, romo, it says here. I didn't know that one. También si hablamos de dull, es aburrido, es soso, un día gris, think about that, it's a dull day. Same kind of idea. Dull, D-U-L-L. So let's say it together. Chucky was not a dull doll. And a nice round of applause for all our amigos. The first person to get it was German, followed by Born to Iron Man and Victor and so many other students who figured it out as well. Let's go over our names from our spelling bee really quickly over here. Oh, and I saw somebody put a comment about the Duke and the, oh no, ya no son Duke, no? The Duke es hablar, ¿cómo se dice Duke? Duke, igual. The Duke of Edinburgh, ¿no es él? Oh, Jay Lima, I'm going to watch Harry and Meghan on Netflix after this. I got to say something, Jay Lima. We started watching it, but it's unwatchable. It's like really rich people complaining that they have horrible lives. Like, I don't know. I get it. I guess it's the Telecinco effect, right? but I don't get it. But are they dukes now? And the Duke and the Duchess, right? Okay, well, here we're not talking about dukes. We're talking about kings and queens, who some of them were kings and queens before they were even born. The first one we have is Shah Shapur II, okay? Born in the year 309, and was crowned the king of Persia before he was out of his mother's womb. Vientre, stomach, right? Where the child is. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, the kid was born with a silver spoon. To be born with a silver spoon es nacer en cuna de oro. Nosotros decimos con una cuchara plateada. So imagine that. You're born like, surprise, you're king of Persia. Wow. Isn't that a video game too? So this guy, before he was even born, Shah Shapur II was the king. He was never heir to the throne. Heir es heredero al trono, heir to the throne. He just was born with the throne warmed up and ready for him. The next one, I'm sure you know, Alfonso the 13th. Alfonso the 13th. He was proclaimed king on birth. So it's pretty crazy. He could, they said he became king before he could spend a night on earth. So he wasn't born king, but they wasted no time making him the king. And he was supposed to take on that but the king didn't take on the responsibility till he was 16. So one thing, I guess, is the title. You'll have to forgive me. I know very little about these, about royalty and all of this stuff. But Henry VI is our next one. Henry VI. And he became the king at 9 months. 9 months old. He was crowned, coronado. He was crowned king. The next one, King Sobusa II is our next one. King Sobusa, the king of Swazili land. And he began to rule at age 1. And his father died suddenly, repentinamente, suddenly. And he was instantly crowned king. And he was 1 year old. And you know how his dad died? The best way, I guess, you could ever die. Dancing, no? Bailando. The next one is Pu Yi. Pu Yi, who became the emperor, not a king in this case, emperador, the emperor of China when he was 2 years old. This was in the year in the year 1908, right? 1908. And last but not least, Hoyo of Toro. Sounds funny in Spanish, Toro, right? Age 3, and he is presently the king of this area, Toro, which is, the dynasty is called Babito. Oh, that's a funny word. The British say dynasty. The Americans say dynasty. So interesting over there. He holds the record for the youngest reigning monarch. So currently reigning in Mando, and he's 29 years old now, but he was 3 when he was crowned king. All right, guys, this is crazy. I mean, it almost sounds like something out of a movie. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. You know it. It's Name That Movie only on the Show with No Name. And Victor says, the only dukes the Americans have are the Dukes of Hazzard. Absolutely. I love that show. Oh, man, I grew up watching that show. Oh, yeah, and Patty Duke, you know, the actress Patty Duke, another famous actress as well. So, yeah, those are our dukes. Yes, the Dukes of Hazzard and Patty Duke. All right, let's take a look at today's Name That Movie. As always, I'm going to see if I can give you a little clue as we get into it. So, Miami detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett must face off against a mother and son pair of drug lords who wreak vengeful havoc on their city. Okay. That's it. Hay mucha chicha ahí. Miami detectives Mike Lowry. Does that name ring a bell? Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett. I would recognize those names in an instant. It would take me a second because I'm a big fan of these characters. So Miami detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett must face off, enfrentarse con Face Off, que es una película con Nicolas Cage, donde se quitan la cara, right? And also se enfrentan. So face, it's got a double meaning in English. They must face off against a mother-son pair of drug lords. Okay, so a drug dealer es el que pasa cosas, you know? And a drug lord is the person who supplies it to all of those drug dealers, right? And a pair of drug lords who wreak vengeful havoc. So vengeful is vengativo. And to wreak havoc is sembrar el caos, okay? Causar estragos. So again, I'll give it to you the whole thing all together now, okay? Miami detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett must face off against a mother and son pair of drug lords who wreak vengeful havoc on their city. All right, and folks, we've got a winner. Jay Lima, you're kind of right, but if we're going to go full over here, we've got the answer. It's 100% right, and that's Chris Valrol. The movie is Bad Boys for Life. That's right. Well, you're kind of right, Jay Lima. It's Bad Boys, but it's not the first one. It's Bad Boys for Life. And I love these movies. And I haven't seen this one yet, so I need to see this one. Have any of you seen it? I love the first two. Obviously, the first one's better. The second one's okay. The second one's decent. Victor Duke Ellington. How could I forget? Oh, man, the Duke himself. Duke Ellington. Oh, we do have our Dukes in the end. So, Bad Boys for Life. It came out in 2020, and I think it was pretty anticipated, especially if you were a big fan of the first movies. And it was a long time between between the second and the third installment, entrega ahí. And really cool over there. Also stars Vanessa Hudgens. You guys know Vanessa Hudgens from High School Musical as well. And obviously the two guys, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. And yeah, well, at least it wasn't Chris Rock. That would be a slap in the face. Un golpe duro, a slap in the un guantazo. No, imagine Chris Rock. No. It's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and they play detectives. They are partners, and they're out there to catch the bad guys in Miami. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen for you. Marcus, who is played by Martin Lawrence, says, "So what are you going to do when you see him? ¿Qué vas a decir cuando le ves? You really going to put your son behind bars? ¿De verdad vas a meter a tu hijo entre rejas? Behind bars." We say the same thing. You really going to put your son behind bars? And Mike says, "Nah, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Le voy a matar." And Marcus says, "Kill him? Fíjate me como la H. Kill him? You really going to kill your own son, Mike? ¿De verdad vas a matar a tu propio hijo, Mike?" And Mike says, "I'm going to put him in a fucking bag. Le voy a meter en una bolsa." Now, let me clear something up. I don't think they mean a shopping bag. I think here they mean a body bag, which is a very logical word in English, isn't it? No sé cómo lo decís vosotros. Una bolsa de cadáveres de cuerpos. So it's another way of saying I'm going to kill him, right? I'm going to put him in a fucking bag. And Marcus says, "You realize you will go to hell. Te das cuenta. Estás consciente de que irás al infierno." And careful with these words. I know a lot of students, they mispronounce these. Evil, malvado. Devil, el demonio. ¿Ves como ambos tienen E, V, I, L, pero no se pronuncian igual? Remember this sentence. The devil is evil. And you'll never forget que no se pronuncian igual. The devil is evil. I've just heard a lot of people say evil or devil. You know, I've heard people mix them up and they're pronounced differently, even though it looks like they might be the same. So you realize you'll go to hell? ¿Te das cuenta que vas a ir al infierno? And Mike says, I don't believe in hell, Marcus. Now, you got to remember, all this time, there's this music in the background, this music. I don't believe in hell, Marcus. And Marcus says, well, it believes in you. Pues el infierno cree en ti. It believes in you. I mean, killing your own son. Matando a tu propio hijo. Killing your own son. Brother, that's a darkness, una oscuridad. That's a darkness that swallows you whole. And the word swallow es tragar, que te traga entero. It swallows you whole. Also, a swallow is a type of bird. Si te acuerdas de este Double Trouble, creo que me acabo de tragar una golondrina. I know it's ridiculous. I think I just swallowed a swallow. It's ridiculous. I know it is. But that's why, listen, most of our double troubles are ridiculous. But if it helps you remember that ya conozco la palabra swallow como tal, pues ya sé que también es golondrina. So he goes, brother, that's a darkness that swallows you whole, que te traga completamente. And Mike says, well, maybe I've already been swallowed. Quizá ya me han tragado. Oh, how dramatic. He goes, I died, remember? Yo morí, ¿te acuerdas? Estaba muerto. I died, remember? And he goes, I'm ending this shit, man. Estoy acabando esta mierda, hombre. I'm ending this shit, man. Sounds a little bit too. Listen, I'm a huge fan of this series here, but it sounds a bit dramatic if you ask me. Hopefully, that's just one scene and there's a lot of action. It reminds me of an expression in English, cut to the chase. Vaya al grano. Cut to the chase. Y significa literalmente corta a la parte, a la escena donde está la persecución. And in these movies, there are many car chases. Cut to the chase. All right, we've got a joke over here. Jay Lima's throwing a joke our way. Let's see. Jay Lima says, why did Will Smith use an open hand? Because paper beats rock. Because paper beats rock. Okay. All right. I've heard better jokes. Do you guys get it? It's based on rock, paper, scissors. You guys, no, jugáis lo mismo. Rock, paper, scissors, this game that you play with your hands when you're little kids. I love learning all these things, and I'm teaching all of these things to my daughter now. Rock, paper, scissors, high five, choca los cinco, right? All of these different games and little songs and jingles we had from our youth. And that's what I always tell you guys, learning is, you can learn and recite structures and grammar and all of that stuff. But if you look at it as a cultural learning experience, well, that's even better. Mejor aún. All right. Well, folks, we have to take a quick commercial break. This is our final commercial break of today, but we've got a lot to do when we come back. Yeah, well, we've got to take a look at our double trouble. We still have to take a look at famous birthdays. We've got our SayWhat soundbite as well. Name that lyric. Wow, we really do have a lot of stuff to do, and we'll do it all in just a moment. If I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth and final part of today's show with No Name 2.0 on Vaughn Radio. Come on in. Man, we've got so much to do in the next 26 minutes. And don't forget, you got amazing programs all afternoon long here on Vaughn Radio. Just download our free app, Vaughn Radio. If you're looking for information, go to groupovaughn.com or follow us on social media, and you can get information on anything. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth part of today's show with No Name. Let's get rocking because, as always, we've got tons to do. It's time for today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up.
Double trouble. Yeah, come on. I said double.
Double trouble. Double trouble.
I said double.
Double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble here on the show with No Name. You have to use the same word twice in this translation. We just looked at one moments ago. Is it going to be that easy or is it going to be harder? We'll see. Usually I know how easy or how hard it is depending on how many people participate. So if it's really hard, I only see just a little bit of participation. Ooh, I see just a little bit of participation. Eso es un trabalenguas. And when it's easy, I see a lot of people participating. So I usually judge it by that. Okay, here we go. El duque va a resolverlo a puñetazos con su hermano. Hey, we were just talking about Megan and the other guy, right? Toma. And we were talking about El Duque. Hey, guys, you have no excuses here. This one, I mean, we just mentioned it moments ago. At least the first part of it. El Duque va a resolverlo a puñetazos con su hermano. Okay, el Duque va a resolverlo a puñetazos con su hermano is today's Double Trouble. You have to use the same word twice in this translation. Also, we're going to listen to the SayWhat soundbite for the fourth and final time. We'll see if anybody else can figure it out.
They changed the end, which I didn't like. In the play, the end was at the pump. Teacher said, I love Helen. And that was it. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
All right, there you go, folks. There's a name in there too, right? Helen, teacher, Helen. I think we can get a lot of information from those two words. Teacher, Helen. All right, well, we already have somebody who figured out what was being said. Hopefully a few other people will get it. Right now, we've got people figuring out our Double Trouble. Let's take a look. The first person to participate is Leonardo. And Leonardo's usually pretty good at this. Let's see. El Duque va a resolverlo a puñetazos con su hermano. The Duke is going to duke it out with his brother. That's what Leonardo says. Do you guys agree? Does that sound right? The Duke is going to duke it out with his brother. Absolutely. Excellent. Leonardo, you got it, man. The Duke is going to duke it out with his brother. To duke it out is llevarlo a puñetazos, right? Peleárselo. So excellent. Easy one to remember. All you have to do is think about the real Duke, right? I think the other Duke, no se llevan bien, they don't get along. Is that right? I don't know the whole story there. Let's see. Jay, also Chris. Chris says, The Duke is going to duke it out with his brother. Perfect. Victor, the Duke is going to duke it out with his brother. Excellent. So many people got it. Great job to all of you. It reminds me of a song, too, from the 50s, I believe. Duke, 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 Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Duke, 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 Duke of Earl. Hey, we're finding a lot of dukes out there. And I remember an old way of saying this. Me recuerda de los dibujos animados from the cartoons. Put up your dukes. Vamos a pelearla. No? Put up your dukes to fight. And remember, we don't ever promote violence here on the show, but I like to teach you all kinds of English. So the Duke is going to duke it out with his brother. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. And speaking of jokes, I think it's time for Your Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking. Only on the show with no name. And you know what? Ever since we've been talking about dukes, and there's the Duke and there's the Duchess as well. Duquesas, Duchess. The Duke and the Duchess, and, well, there are many, many royal titles. All right, let's take a look at today's joke. What did Climber 1 say to Climber 2? Okay, climber. Believe it or not, this is a word I've heard a lot of people mispronounce. He oído climb. He oído climb. I've heard it all. So the word is climb, escalar. C-L-I-M-B. No pienses en esa B porque está ahí solo para confundiros. Okay? It's not supposed to be there. They put it in there because they were just bad people. And they said, es que se jodan, pon una B y así lo pronuncian. Climb. Climber. It's not climber. It's climber. He's a climber. He's a mountain climber. I think you say alpinista, possibly in Spanish. He's a mountain climber. He climbs mountains, right? Climb. So what did one climber say to the other climber? This climb rocked. No. It's funny. We looked at another rock joke before. Mola. This climb rocked. Esta escala moló. Era piedra. Okay, all right. Well, you could say it rocked and rolled, although I don't think climbers like to roll. You know, they like the rock part, but they don't like the roll. Roll, rodar. They like rocking, but they don't like rolling. He said the climb rocked. Well, I didn't tell you what the other climber said. The other climber answered him. When climber A said to climber B, he said, "Man, that climb rocked." You know what climber B said? I didn't even get to that part. He said, "Well, we got off to a rocky start." Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Un comienzo difícil. A rocky start. This climb rocked, even though we got off to a rocky start. Well, I guess, guys, they got bolder as they went on. Oh, no, I'm coming at you. No. They got bolder as they went on. We just looked at the word bold before, negrita. We said bold es atrevido. They got bolder as they moved on. Se pusieron más atrevidos conforme siguieron hacia adelante. Bolder, B-O-L-D-E-R. But what about B-O-L-U, B-O-L-U-D. No puedo deletrearlo y decirlo a la vez. B-O-U-L-D-E-R. Boulder. Eso es un pedrusco, una roca, una peña. Do you get it now? So climber 1 said to climber 2, man, that climb rocked. Climber 2 answered, wow, we got off to a rocky start. Climber 1 said, well, we got bolder as we went on. And I prefer that the climb rocks, but I don't want it to roll. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I guess I am just going out on a limb. To go out on a limb. A limb. How do you say a limb? Un borde, un acantilado, like a cliff. Extremidad, una rama. So if you're going out on a limb, it means arriesgando. Okay. All right. Well, guys, you got 5 or 6 different puns in the You're Joking section today. To go out on a limb, arriesgarse, right? Un precipicio, on a limb, a cliff, as we said before too. But the expression es una frase hecha, right? He went out on a limb. The next one we said to roll, to rock and roll. Rock is molar, but to roll is to roll down the hill. I always forget that word, rodar. We said rocky. If something's rocky, it's difficult, it's plagued with problems. And then we looked at the word boulder and the spelling boulder, como Colorado, as you guys just said, boulder, and boulder más atrevido, más audaz. Wow, tons of jokes in the You're Joking section. But now it's time for famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And let's take a look at the people who are celebrating a birthday today. The first person was born in 1949, and this person's name is acantilado. I just told you that word. Acantilado. Yeah. Australian English, I guess dual citizen. An Australian English musician. Vamos a pronunciar esa palabra, musician. More specifically, a bass player for the very famous band AC/DC. I'm sure you all know AC/DC. Even if you don't like AC/DC, we're all familiar with AC/DC. High voltage, baby. High voltage rock and roll. That's AC/DC. I've seen them in concert numerous times. Oh, by the way, guys, I got my tickets. Just letting you guys know, if you're fans of 80s and 90s rock, Motley Crue and Def Leppard are going to Rivas, Vacia Madrid, and I'm going. So I'll see you there. I can't wait. All right. So, yeah, this guy's the bass player or the bassist for the group AC/DC, which they got the name for their group. It doesn't sound so rock and roll. They got it from a sewing machine, una máquina de coser. On the plug, it said AC. Oh, that's cool, man. I really like that name. So it doesn't sound as rock and roll as like sticking your finger in a socket, como meter el dedo en un enchufe, right? But we don't recommend you do that. For those about to rock, we salute you. Number 2, she was born in 1988. She got famous for playing Gabriela Montes in the High School Musical film series. She was in the film 13 as well. She was in, what else? The Night Before Christmas, El Caballero Antes de Navidad. O sea, es un juego de palabras. Also, The Princess Switch, El Cambio de Princesas. Good word there, switch. And also in Bad Boys for Life, which is today's Name That Movie. If you guys were paying attention, Bad Boys for Life. I mentioned her name before. All right. And last but not least, this person was born in 1946. In the year 1946, She died in 2016. And I remember watching her show. She had a TV show. I can't tell you the name, pero tiene el nombre Duque en español. I mentioned her name before. She had a TV show that was on the air from 1963 to 1966. And it was very, very popular. And I remember my mom used to watch it when she was a kid. And then I used to watch it because of reruns. She was also in the movie The Valley of the Dolls. And she got a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress for that. And she also portrayed, hizo el papel, she portrayed Helen Keller. Keller, the teacher in the movie The Miracle Worker. Well, not just in the movie, in the play. She was in the play, La Obra de Teatro, and in the movie The Miracle Worker. How would you, cómo lo traducís a español? It's the story of Helen Keller, and famous. She originated the role on Broadway, and then she later went on to play it in the movie. And Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan, and she plays the teacher in this this awesome story. She was 15 years old, by the way, when she portrayed Helen Keller in that. It was in 1962. Also, her kids are famous actors right now as well. Her son was in Goonies. He had the lead role of Mikey in the movie Goonies. So, and her last name is Duque, which we looked at that word. All right, let's see if we've got any winners. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Chris Val. Roll. Nice job, Chris. Awesome job. Number 1, Cliff Williams. That's right, Cliff Williams. And as Born to Iron Man says, Cliff Burton, Acantilado Burton, was also Metallica's bassist. Yeah, I guess that's a popular name for a bassist. I never thought of that. So Cliff Williams. Number 2, Vanessa Hudgens from the High School Musical series. She's also known for many other roles as well that she's played in the movie 13, in the movie Bad Boys for Life as well. And number 3, Patty Duke. Patty Duke is our final famous person. And Cristina says the miracle worker is called El Milagro de Anna Sullivan. Ajá. Pues ahí decimos la obradora de milagros, the miracle worker. And speaking of the miracle worker, this is Patty Duke giving her opinion on the miracle worker, which she was in. Patty Duke, and she says they changed the end when she was talking about the play versus the movie. They added an extra scene. So the play ended in front of the pump, the water pump, donde sacas el agua, el bombo, I think you say, de la tierra. No, es como un pozo. They pump the water. I'm sure many of you have seen this. It's a famous movie. And she says they changed the end, which I didn't like. Now she's saying this as she's older. Que a mí no me gustó. In the play, the end was at the pump, ¿no? And al final de la obra de teatro, la terminación, el final de la obra fue en el bombo, at the pump. En la bomba? Bombo? I always get confused with that one. And the teacher said, I love Helen. And that was it. Y eso fue todo. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Todo el mundo llorando, right? So there you go, my amigos. Monse says there's a TV show now called Miracle Workers with Steve Buscemi and Daniel Radcliffe. Oh, cool. Monse, you know your stuff. Oh, and Chris says pump is bomba. Yeah, I always say bombo, bomb. I always get confused. Bueno. Guys, let's listen to Patty Duke, the famous actress Patty Duke, in today's Say What soundbite.
They changed the end, which I didn't like. In the play, the end was at the pump. Teacher said, I love Helen. And that was it. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
All right, there you go, folks. Always learning from all different people. And now it's time for our final section where we learn English from music. It's called Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And I can't believe it. We have reached the end of today's show. I hope you guys had fun. I can tell by the comments, juzgando por los comentarios, you guys had a great time. I hope you learned as well. And what can I say except keep up the great work? Seriously, keep up the great work. I'm proud of you. I know your other teachers, they're proud of you as well. Keep it up, guys. You guys figured out a way to have fun and to play and to make friends and to make it a hobby. And once you figure out how to do that, life gets easier. So kudos to each and every one of you, not only for being great students, but for being great people. I read all your comments, whether it's here live on the show or the comments you guys send me on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. I read them all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I take everything into consideration as well. Also, remember, if you're interested in hearing about a certain topic on my topic-based podcast For Your Inglés, real simple. Write me a message. Some of the greatest topics have come from you guys. Los temas que más me ha gustado a mí, más han gustado en general, have come from your suggestions. So keep them coming. Que sigan llegando esas sugerencias. And here's today's Name That Lyric. Pues me preguntas sobre la ropa que llevo. Well, you ask me about the clothes I wear. Y me preguntas por qué dejo que crezca mi pelo. And you ask me why I grow my hair. Y me preguntas por qué soy parte de un grupo. And you ask me why I'm in a band. I dig doing one-night stands. I dig es me gusta, me encanta, me mola. I dig doing one-night stands. Me gustan esos rollos de una noche o one-night stand. Viene de la comedia, de hecho. And you want to see me do my thing, y me quieres ver hacer lo que yo sé hacer, lo que yo vine a hacer, to do your thing, se dice en inglés. You want to see me do my thing? All you got to do is plug me in. To plug me in, we looked at socket, es el donde lo metes, and the plug is el enchufe. So you plug it in, y you plug it out? No, you unplug it. Piensa en MTV Unplugged. So, and you want to see me do my thing, all you got to do is plug me in to high. I said high. I said high. High voltage rock and roll. Chris Valrol, you got it. High voltage rock and roll. Coming from my sister's sewing machine. Well, hey, that's where it came from, the AC/DC thing. High voltage rock and roll. And this show here, this is high voltage English. But make sure you're pronouncing the word correctly. It's not voltage. ¿Cómo lo pronunciamos? Voltage. Suena, vamos a hacer un truquito aquí. El age, en casi todos los casos, menos age o rage, pero cuando es terminación de una palabra es age. Like bridge, voltage, village, language. Hazte una lista. There's your homework. I want you to make a list of these words that end in A-G-E, but don't sound like age. They sound like age. Todos sabéis pronunciar bridge. Pues hazte una lista, and you've got your first one there. High voltage. High voltage rock and roll. We've been talking a lot about rocks today and rolls and all kinds of things. I hope you guys have gotten a little bit more bolder as well in English. All right, I'll stop with the jokes, folks. Thank you so much. It's High Voltage English here on the show with no name. Wow, a place where English rocks. Yeah. I hope you guys have a rockin' day, even if you got off to a rocky start, because you rock. Wow.